musician, father, actor, husband, world-renowned playboy. Did I leave anything out? What else did I miss?
I think you nailed it.
Did Bush decide that they were going to go on indefinite hiatus?
2002 was the last show.
Okay.
So 2001 was the last record. And then I did another band. I did some...
solo stuff?
Solo stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And all the time I was trying to get the band back together. You know, I realized that that's where it was for me. And then when you're signed to a major label, it just every record cycle takes so long. You can't just put a record out and it's like a 3-year cycle.
Right.
So it's really annoying. And I'm so happy to not be on a major label. I can move like a ninja now. So not that I'm not doing anything other than Bush, but I mean I can be ninja-like.
So after a decade of being away from, not necessarily the music scene, but away from Bush, like obviously the record industry is in a bit of dire straits. Like why would you go, you know what, I think now's the perfect time to do a new Bush record?
The impetus behind anything is musical. You know, it's not really sort of the crazy world that's going on, the zeitgeist. But I think there's a really beautiful time for music. I think that getting rid of all the major labels, the tyranny of the major labels is a fantastic thing.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's time for people just to make music and allow the great music to rise to the top and the other stuff that isn't great to be regurgitated back into the culture of life and find itself when it's good again. So I'm always wrong about everything, or I do everything the wrong way.
See, we are just alike. You and I are just alike.
So there you go. So therefore, I think tonight fantastic sold-out crowd here in Austin. Going to play songs I really love.
Mm-hmm.
Got on the cusp of a new album that we're really excited about. So I feel really good about it. You know, is he going to buy me a private jet today? Maybe not so much, but that's okay.
You consider yourself an artist or a musician?
Well, it's weird because people use that word artist about themselves and it always feels like a self-shout out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really I'm a musician, but I live in the artistic world,
mm-hmm.
right? But I always found it funny when people refer to themselves as an artist. To me, it's like sort of saying that you're really good.
Mm-hmm. Or someone actually appreciates what you did.
Yeah, I mean,
without
it's more of a like, can you cook?
I'd like to think I'm an artist of cooking.
Okay, good. Now, would you consider yourself a cook or a chef?
No, I would not consider myself a chef.
You see, because really, like, the good chefs are cooks. They're great cooks.
Mm-hmm.
It's a more sort of humble, kind of below the radar way of describing yourself. So, a musician is slightly less lofty than an artist. Yeah. It's like if you want to, when I leave, if you want to say, man, some of those lyrics on this new record or something like that, they're very artistic. He's an artist. That's your prerogative, and
mm-hmm.
I'd be very grateful if you ever said that. But at the same time, for anyone to say that about themselves, you want to kind of slap them, don't you? It's a slappable offense.
Absolutely.
I'm an artist.
Mm-hmm.
Really? You're a slappable artist?
Well, it's kind of one of those things where it's not left to the person to call himself. It's for others to make the comment,
right.
To observe and say, you know what?
How do you feel? How was the show tonight? I don't know. You tell me. I was just in it.
Well, or you should go, I know it's great. I was the best ever. That was an amazing show. Did you see me?
It's impossible to improve on what we did tonight. That kind of stuff would be sucky.
What kind of things are you hoping for with a new record? I mean, what do you see in the next 5 years?
The main thing I really want to see is that, you know, we have been lucky enough to have a really good back catalogue that people know and relate to. But what would be awesome is if this record stands up on its own, and if someone comes along and has never heard of Bush before, hears this record and says, you know, this band doesn't suck. Maybe they're artists. Let me check them out. This is the record and feels complete from that. That to me is success. So basically it's finding a way to have a foot in the past and the history of what we've done, so the sound isn't so dissimilar and you know, different, but yet it's progressive enough that people go, wow, this band's kind of cool, and pushing it forward a little bit. And it's rock music, so how far can you push it? But it's that would be the ideal thing.
Feel good to be back on stage?
Yeah, I mean, I never actually stopped being on stage because I was doing the solo stuff as well, but it feels complete. I feel recomplete, because to be doing Bush again, even when my solo record was surprisingly successful for a solo record from someone in a band, and it took people by surprise, but people would always say, that's fantastic, it's great. When's the record? When's the band getting back together? That's great, I love that show. When's the band getting back together? So really, I feel back where I belong.
You're meeting the demands, and that's where you're happy being right now.
Yeah, I feel really good. You know, I like the camaraderie of a band. I like the shared commitment. I like the shared responsibility, the onus on being good. When I was in the solo thing, I was consumed with always thanking everyone around me, because I was so embarrassed that everyone was always there for me, because it was like my stupid name up there on the banner. And I was like, when a band, it can be everyone's fault or everyone's prize, whereas when it's you alone, it's just it's strange. Some people like that, but it's not really what I gravitate towards. I'm English. It made me feel awkward. I'm awkward enough. You don't want me more awkward.
As I prepared for the interview today, I realized we have a ton of things in common.
Cool.
For example, we have both asked Gwen Stefani out on a date. She refused me. Obviously, she accepted yours.
It's hard to get a date with her nowadays, trust me.
It's harder nowadays?
She's busy.
Damn it.
For me too, I meant.
Gavin Rosdale, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here with us this afternoon.
Thank you.